What's good, guys? We're back. We're going to try this again. Little technical difficulties. It's all good, though. That's what it takes, you know. We're trying to connect people from country to country. Right now, we got an interview going down with our boys from Canada. So here shortly, they're going to jump in on the video. I believe one of them is in the store, so he's going to join us from their pages, IG, and then the other one, I believe, is going to try to join us from his personal. So this screen might actually be split into three. So stay tuned and we'll see. Where did mine? Oh, there it is. Okay. Jordan Harris joined. What's up, buddy?
Hey, buddy.
All right. So we just gotta wait a minute, guys. Omnis is gonna hop on, and once they get in, we'll start the interview. Just to kind of get things rolling. If you guys do have any questions that you want to ask them, go ahead and throw them up now. Let's just get that thing going. Just to give you a brief idea, maybe some ideas of to base your questions. These guys are based in Canada, so that could be one question, you know, like what's the streetwear scene like up there? How does it differ from the U.S.? Have you guys ever been to the U.S.? Have you ever done pop-ups in the U.S.? Pop-ups in other countries? I mean, there's all sorts of things we could ask these guys, so just go ahead and start throwing those questions up. Once they get on, we'll start the interview and we'll get things going. Hitless Vintage, what's good, bud? Would love to have you on for a segment. I'm not sure if I already booked you or not, but if I did, I apologize. But yes, we have you booked.
For those who don't know, I'm Nick Fanning. This is Alessandro Cocosa, and we make World Thrift. Again, we're trying to bring the vintage thrifting community together through these live podcasts, and we want to thank everybody for joining us to this live. If you can't stay for the whole thing, this will be on Instagram for the next 24 hours, and we will post this to YouTube on our YouTube channel. That's AOK Fam. On YouTube, go ahead and subscribe so that way you get the latest and greatest. And
Oh, here we go. Okay, Omnis is hopping in right now, guys. Mo Money, I see you.
what is Jordan's question?
Do they get Olympic 1996 stuff there?
I thought that the Olympics was in
Atlanta in 96.
Maybe he's talking
No,
about
I know. No, he is talking about that, but that's like the. I think that's like, if I'm correct, Jordan, I'm pretty sure that 96 Atlanta Olympic stuff is like more rare or just more sought after than other stuff. So I think that, yeah, see, asking if it's, rare to
rare
find.
to find. Okay, I got you. I get what you're saying.
Okay, Omnis is attempting to hop in, so we'll just give them just a minute. Yeah, Jordan Harris.
Hey, Jordan, do you see the curated heat behind us?
Okay, Omnis, for whatever reason, they were unable to hop in. This sucks, man. We might have to do this again. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me add them. Okay, I didn't know I could do that. That's cool.
That's actually pretty cool.
Nice!
Yeah, bye.
Yes!
There we go.
All right,
That's
ladies
good.
and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and dive right in. We've got Mario from, I'm saying it right, yeah, Omnis?
Omnis, yeah.
Yeah, okay,
Nice.
from omnis.ca. When I first found them, I thought it was California, but it's actually Canada. So we got these guys coming all the way from Hamilton, Ontario, right?
Yep. All the way up north, yeah. Hamilton,
Yeah.
Ontario.
So yeah, we're super stoked to have you guys.
Dope.
If Steven wants to join in, let him know that we're here.
Yeah.
We're ready to make that happen if needed. Damn, bro, you guys have a bunch of people hopping in. I love this.
Yeah, let's get it, guys. But Steven, I did send him a message to join in. He might join in or he might not, but
You know what?
I do have a short.
Let me see if I can. Oh no, never mind. Yeah, you're fine. I know you have a short time. Let's just get it going.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Cool. All right, so real quick, just for the people joining in, World Thrift Live, this is a show basically where we bring together vintage resellers, different shops, plugs, proxies. If you're into fashion, we're into you. We want to hear your story. We want to hear what you've got to say. We're super happy to have Mario and the guys here from this. They've got a lot of really cool things going on up in their area in Canada. They're like their #1 store in the area. They're always doing fire raffles. They've always got
Thank
good
you, bro.
stuff. Definitely stop by if you're in their area. They do ship worldwide, so you can get deals if you're not in the area. But yeah, that's them. Is there anything you want to say real quick just to touch on this?
Shout out to the people. Thank you for everybody who's in the live chat. And yeah, we do ship internationally. So if you ever see anything on the page that you like, message us. We can ship that out to you for sure. Even you guys, if you ever see anything on the page too, we're gonna definitely keep an eye out.
We absolutely do all the time. You guys have great stuff. But yeah, man,
appreciate it.
I think, like what Mario said, just shout out to the people. That's definitely like I've tuned into you guys' YouTube videos a little bit, and if there's one thing to say about these guys is that they are very grateful for their community, the support they have around them. So when he said that, shout out to the people. I 100% believe that's genuine. So definitely stop by. These guys are really good guys. I haven't even met them yet, but I've got some great vibes. But okay, real quick, let's just do a rundown, Mario. Just do your name, your age, and then where you're from, and then where you're based now, if it's different from where you're from.
Okay, so my name is Mario Ruiz. I am from Hamilton, Ontario. I am 20 years old, and this is where it all started here in Hamilton.
That's insane. Mario's 20. How old is Steven?
Steven's 19.
19. All right, guys. We got a 19 and 20-year-old. They have their own store. They're their own bosses. That right there should just tell you that if you get up, you work.
Yeah, anything's possible.
Go out and get it. Yeah, it's absolutely possible for sure. So that's cool. Okay, so real quick, just tell us about your brand and your store.
All right, so
maybe like a little history about the name, if there's anything behind that.
Yeah, for sure. I'll get into that. So it's my partner Steven and I, Steven Olds. We started this back in grade 9. So 6 years ago now, we started a little thrifting page on Instagram called High Grade Vintage. So after High Grade Vintage, we wanted to change up a name. So we switched it to the Palace Closet. A lot of name changes. So after the Palace Closet, it became All Time. And then we really wanted to run hard with All Time. But there was a bunch of brands in California and whatnot that had the name All Timers. So we knew it would kind of like, if we ever wanted to get to that global status, we would mash, we'd really clash. So the word omnis actually means all people. So we thought it fit perfectly because we're not just here for men's clothing, right? We have women's clothing, we have hats, sneakers, sweaters, t-shirts, we have it all, right? So the word omnis, all people, we thought it really fit to what we're doing and also what we're about. We're really about like giving deals to the people, just trying to hook everybody up, right?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, I had no clue about the name and I always thought it was really cool, but just knowing that backstory I think is really important. So for anyone watching, pretty much what you said, it just means for the people, right?
Yeah, all people.
All people, yeah. So that's pretty great, dude. That's awesome to know.
Yeah, it's Roman Latin.
Okay, and then your store is located right downtown. What's the street it's on again?
King Street, 166 King Street West.
So it's right on King Street. It's right downtown. The videos I see, it looks like
all the people.
I noticed you guys have a lot of nice cars flying by too.
Yeah, we're right in the hub. So there's people from. There's a higher class city called Ancaster just on top of the mountain. Okay. So a lot of people, they work in the downtown core, right? So they have a lot of nice vehicles, a lot of fancy clothing walking around. So we're in a pretty good location.
Awesome. Yeah. And already we've had a couple of people reach out with a question, and this one's in particular, like the 1996 Olympic, like any sort of like tees. They asked if it's rare to find up there.
Sorry, what? You guys kind of cut out there.
One of the people watching they just put up a viewer question, and it was, in Canada, is it harder to find any of like the Olympic gear and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, so we did have that London Olympic one. Yeah, so it is difficult just because there's a lot of thrifters here in Hamilton. So we don't really get our clothing from thrift stores. People come and bring them in.
Right.
So for us now, it's not we don't really have time for it, right? So people will bring it in. That Olympic one you're talking about, it was actually brought in by one of our customers. So I would say, yeah, it's a rare find out here, definitely.
Cool.
Yeah. It's very saturated. The market is very saturated, so everybody's hunting, right?
Right.
No, it's funny that you say that now you guys have a store, you're doing a lot less thrifting and stuff. Because I was telling him that, you know, with us, we retail out of a couple of different boutiques in our area. We don't necessarily have like our full-on store of our own yet. We're working towards that. But I told him, I'm like, dude, I'm telling you, once we have a store of our own, that's when people just start coming in with all the heat. They come in with all the streetwear and stuff, trading up to try to get vintage or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how we'll be able to build up that Supreme inventory and all that stuff. Because I see on your posts all the time, you know, you guys will post these just came in today, Jordans, Babe, Supreme Palace, all sorts of good stuff. And then literally it's leaving within like an hour or the next day. You know?
Yeah, just because here in Hamilton, we're about 50 minutes away from Toronto, depending on traffic. So here in Hamilton, there's not really many shops that can provide this sort of clothing. So once we have it, the community, everybody's like a hype beast a little bit in heart, right? Everybody wants a Babe piece. So as soon as we have it, it's gone. It's just the demand's way too high for all that stuff. So we're supplying the people. We wanna grow bigger as well. So we're keeping some stuff at the back just in case of maybe a bigger storefront. We'll have stock for that. So yeah.
Cool. I saw Steven where he just hopped in. Steven Olds, you just hopped in. I noticed if it gives you the button to request to hop in on your own, do it and we'll let you in, and then you can come in and speak on the store as well, dude. We'd love to have you.
For sure.
If it does, that would be great, but if not, I totally understand. So here, you kind of told us your story. The second question is kind of your story and how you got into this. You kind of already said that, so I'll kind of just jump to question 3. It's a 2-part question. So what's your favorite brand? And then what's your favorite resale shop or maybe just online reseller?
Okay. So my favorite brand, if people watching, if they know me, I'm a big Tommy Hilfiger head. I love Tommy.
Me too.
Yeah, Tommy's the best. You know, if there's Polo fans watching, I'm sorry, but Tommy's the man. Tommy's the man.
Yeah.
You like Polo?
I'm Polo. He's Tommy. We're like a split house, really, but like
That's
we
good.
we both fuck with both of them. We love it all.
Yeah. Same here. I believe Steven's more of a Polo guy, so that's how. Yeah. But favorite reseller? I know a lot of people are gonna say round 2, so I want to say, you know what? I'm gonna say round 2 as well. Round 2.
Yeah, why not?
Dude, you gotta have a lot of respect for him. I actually had finally the chance to go visit him in Miami and meet all of them, and they're just awesome. Very
no way.
humble.
Check this out. We have the round 2 stickers all over the door. So
Nice.
yeah.
Nice. Go to the New York store.
No. Steven actually went to the Virginia store, so yeah, that's where he got the stickers.
Steven, I saw that you said you sent the request to hop in. I'm not seeing it. So see if you can send it again, and we'll try. Hold on. Yeah, if not, it's okay. But yeah, okay, that's cool. So round 2, and then okay. Okay, here, you take that question, Fanning, number 4.
Yeah, dude, this is a great question. So if you had the one-time opportunity to go wherever you wanted and pop up, set up a couple of racks and sell, where would that be?
With perfect conditions, anywhere in the world, you know there's going to be a line waiting with customers waiting to buy your shit. Everything's going to be perfect. Where would you go next week? Pop up anywhere.
So we do have something in the works right now for something in the States. I don't want to give out too information just yet, just because we're not going public with it. But for me personally, we have a friend from Denmark. I'd say Denmark, just because their vintage scene is just starting to grow. So I feel like if we popped out there, brought some racks, they really like vintage Nike out there. We have a bunch of vintage Nike. So if we went over there, I feel like we'd do really well. That's awesome. This Denmark. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's a real cool question just because you can kind of see like where people's heads are at. like the kid we did in our first interview, he said Rose Bowl, which I thought was interesting. Like real simple to the point, but honestly, it's a great place to be.
I've never been. Have you guys been?
Well, I haven't honestly, but it's the spot, man, for sure out in LA.
Yeah, for sure. Seeing all the heat come out of there, it's crazy.
Okay, actually, I'll let Nick ask number 5 too, because he's more of like the finance and back end operations type guy.
So I mean, as far as what your short-term goal with this, where do you see yourself? You've already got a shop. How do you get yourself to the next level, or what is that next level for you?
Steven and I have been talking about making more ominous clothing. I feel like the next step for us is sort of branding our own brand more instead of selling other brands, right? We want to try to push our own merchandise, so I think that's what we need to do, yeah.
Clothes for all.
Exactly, yeah.
That's such a cute. That's huge. That's awesome. The meaning behind it, and I love it. So that's more of short term. Now let's get more of a wider range here. 10 years, right? So you've got the shop, you've got your own clothing brand started. Where do you go from there?
Yeah, long term goals.
See, I don't want to give out too much information, but we've already been talking about like opening different locations around Canada.
Okay.
I definitely see us having at least more than one shop.
Nice.
The home base will always be here in Hamilton, but definitely expanding into other cities. Yeah.
Any in the U.S. or strictly Canada?
I feel like we'll stay strictly Canada just because the U.S. already has an abundance of shops like this. So maybe if like people dig our clothes, the Omnis clothing, maybe we'll open like just a flag store Omnis out there.
Yeah, that's cool.
We don't know, right? Wherever the future takes us.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you guys are super young, so to be honest, like where you guys are at right now, you should definitely just be really proud of it for sure. And definitely don't let anyone tell you guys anything else, because you have a physical store you're standing in right now that the only person that can take it away is the landlord if you don't pay him. But other than that,
exactly.
So I want to put this out there for those that are still on right now. What's a question that you want to ask Mario about his shop, about him personally? But go ahead and think of some questions. Go ahead and put in the comment board. So while y'all are doing that, I'm going to go ahead and ask the next question, which is, what is on your Grail list? What is that one thing that you couldn't get or haven't had a chance to get?
My the big one I want is do you guys know about that Tommy Hilfiger skateboard flag?
I do, yeah.
No.
So it's the flag, and there's two skaters. So there's the one guy on the red side, and there's the one guy on the white. So on the red, I believe he's wearing a Tommy big flag with Tommy shoes, and it's a Tommy deck. So it's all Tommy'd out. That's the Grail for sure.
Also, I know someone not like here who I think Michigan Thrift.
Michigan Thrift. He's had a few. One of our friends from Canada, Vintage 905, they have one, and we actually have a Nirvana heart-shaped box that
Vintage 905.
Yeah, they're from Whitby, Ontario.
Oh, actually, dude.
What was that?
I think I have them on the show actually.
Oh, sick. Yeah, Gavin.
And I reached out to your boys. Oh shit! What was it? You guys just took a photo with them recently. Hold on, I'll tell you right now. Retroheads. Yeah, they're coming on in 2019.
Oh, sick. In 20 minutes?
No, in next year. Next year. I booked them for a segment next year.
Oh, awesome. Okay. That's great. You guys are booked up, eh? That's wicked.
Dude, it's really cool. Like when I first did it, I just reached out to everyone I knew, and I kind of just booked them. First come, first serve. You guys were pretty quick to respond. So, all right, let's get these guys in. And then I kind of just booked accordingly. But yeah, man, I'm really happy with the response we've gotten, and I think it's going to be good for people for sure.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Someone was just at the door.
You're all good. One thing that's also good to note for all the viewers, people watching, and then you can also tell customers and stuff. This Mario, we're actually this will be available for 24 hours. you should do that as well on your end so that the people see it. But then what we've also done is we're recording this, and then we're going to upload it to our YouTube so people will be able to see this interview forever. So,
yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I didn't even realize you had a channel.
Yeah, so we're going to do that every week with all the interviews we do, so people will be able to see all the interviews even if you missed it for whatever reason.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, so definitely, I'll try to have it out and up on YouTube within like the next 5 days, and then I'll shoot you the link and you can share it with whoever you want.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll promote it on our story as well.
So let me set the table for this next question. So, this is recent. We're down in South Beach. We're trading up our gear. We're trading with Sean. And Alessandro actually sold his Beach Boys shirt. Okay? And so that's one of the...
Sorry, which piece?
Beach Boys.
I sold a Beach Boys, the band. I sold it's one of my favorite band tees out of my personal collection. We brought it down around to South Beach, and they bought it from us, and of course it was like something I regretted selling to them. So basically our question is, have you ever sold anything either personal or maybe something you guys had in the shop that you either wish you could buy back or maybe you just regret selling, you sold it too cheap or whatever?
Yeah. So back in the day, back in grade 9 when we went thrifting hard, there was this, I don't know if you guys were familiar with like the vintage snapback game.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So like 6 years ago, it was huge. Like hats were going for 400 plus, 300, 200. So I found this Washington Capitals sports specialty script, and they had the vintage logo, and it was a white dome, and it had the tags on it, the sports specialty tags. So I posted that on our Instagram, and we must have had like 100 followers at that point in time. And then all of a sudden we had like 200 followers. We had like multiple DMs asking us about the hat. And we're like, yo, what the heck's going on? So apparently that hat was like a one of one. It hasn't been seen back then. Yeah, it was one of one. And we were getting like trade offers left and right. People were saying like 100 US. So we're in Canada, right? That's good money for us. So 100 US and then 200 US. And we're like, whoa, what's going on? So then there's this dude, he offered us 6 snapbacks. So my buddy Harris and I were like 6 snapbacks for one. That's a great deal. So we shipped it out to him. We got the hats. And then he flipped that Washington Capitals hat for like 6 US. The next guy flipped it for like the same. Other guy kept it for a few months, then flipped it. So that's one I do regret getting rid of.
Oh, man. That's crazy.
But now, like the whole hat stock just fell, right? So now you can buy that hat for $100. Yeah.
That's crazy to know that you guys have like really been doing this for a while because, and of course I definitely want to like go ahead and like stab this right now that we can. Is there's this big stigma that a lot of people like we're not even that much older. I'm 25 and Nick's 26, but a lot of the that are like a little bit older than us, 28, they've built this stigma that the people like yourself who are in the vintage game now and are doing really well, have stores, have a really pop-in, Depop, whatever it is, people have this stigma that you guys just started, you don't know what you're talking about, and that you're newbies to the game and you're just having this like beginner's luck. But I think it's really cool to hear that like you guys have been doing this since you were 14 years old, dude.
Yeah.
Like that's awesome to know that, you guys have really, you've been like veterans in this and you're still such a young gun. So
Retro Heads, for example. Retro Heads is really well respected here in our area, and they show love to us just because they remember us being so young and doing this. But saying all that, I still don't know about vintage band tees. Like I'm really not good with the vintage band tees. Steven is. So there is like some parts of the knowledge that we do lack just because of our age, right? Like we weren't born at that time, but we do have a love and respect for all vintage clothing. So I do feel like a lot of the new accounts starting up, there is a lot of them, but there is also younger guys that have been doing this for a good amount of time. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And even so, there's a lot of like the older guys that, they've just been collecting for so long, sitting on this stuff, and they didn't know it was worth anything until recently. So pretty much like my point is just no matter what, like if he's 38, if he's 18, if he's 12, if he's hustling and he's trying to make something happen, like you can't, he or she you know, whoever they may be, like, you just can't hate on it, you know, and like, I just love the community that's building. Like, I just love seeing people being young and like doing what they love, you know what I mean? So it's really cool to see
Sure.
like work for yourselves at such a young age.
Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate you asking us to be on the show. This is a great honor.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure, man. Like we're super stoked to have you, and
Thank you.
honestly, like we're definitely gonna make a trip up there someday, and
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
come
You gotta
by,
take me.
guys. Maybe we can set up a pop up or something like that. But
That'd be sick. Yeah.
it would definitely be really cool to you know, continue this relationship and you know bring it full circle into like a full on meet.
Yeah, for sure. That sounds good.
Okay, so this will be the last question, and then we'll let you go and we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, awesome. I actually have to go, so this is perfect. Last question.
For sure. This one, it's a two-part, but you can make it real quick. What's your biggest pet peeve when dealing with A, customers, and then B, another reseller or like another store?
I think one of my personal pet peeves would be just please wash the clothing when you bring it down. Personally, I do not like pet hair on it. It really yeah, you know what? It does tick me off because I do work.
This guy, he wants to be able to buy it, tag it, and sell it. He doesn't.
Yeah, check it out. So I'm always lint rolling everything, right? So
yes.
yeah. So when a piece comes in and it's full of dog hairs, I'm like, oh, great. But we still take it. We still are very grateful that people are even bringing clothing in. But yeah, I would say make sure it's at least shaken off before you walk in the door.
Right. Wash it, you know.
Yeah.
You don't want it to smell like cat urine or something like that, you know, like just
Yes.
take care of the clothes, you know. And
Yeah, and that's no disrespect to any of our customers. It's just that's a personal pet peeve of mine. So yeah.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and let you go, Mario. One last thing I want to say before I go. I did a little bit of research on Omnis before this interview. I was watching their videos on YouTube and stuff. And everyone watching this, I need you to go over to the Omnis page, but then find Mario's YouTube page as well, and look at the profile photo he has on that, and then check out the Omnis and look what he looks like now. It's completely different. Like, you know, you had the earrings, the hair was shorter, there was no glasses. You had this like, I don't know, dude. It was a cool look for sure. So
yeah.
On YouTube, when we upload this to YouTube, drop in the comments, should Mario go back to the old look, or are we feeling this new look? Are we feeling
Honestly, I was gonna cut my hair yesterday, but then I backed out of the hair appointment just because I don't know, I'm sort of digging it. So
yeah, it's cool.
Yeah,
but yeah,
thank you.
But yeah, man, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you guys, appreciate it.
Yeah, dude, we really appreciate it. We definitely hope to link sometime in the future, and we wish you guys nothing but the best. And you know, of course, feel free to reach out if you guys ever need anything.
Yeah, for sure. I'll hit you guys up in the DM. I'm running a little late right now, so appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, take care, man. Have a good night. Okay.
Okay, thank you, guys. Thank you to everybody watching. See ya.
Yeah.
See you.
All right, guys. So that was episode 3 of World Thrift Live. Thank you to everyone that tuned in. It looked like we had some great activity, probably because Omnis has that 8K following, so all their followers were jumping in. We really appreciate the love from everyone on our end as well as theirs. Thanks for tuning in. We hope this was useful. We hope that you learned something about Omnis, something about the vintage community, something about us. And next week we'll be tuning in with Glenn from Full Court Classics. So you definitely don't want to miss this episode. It's going to be another one in our hometown, so he'll be with us. He's going to bring a bunch of his stuff, show it to you, some of the best pieces he's ever found, some of his grails. This is definitely an episode you don't want to miss. Thanks again. Stay tuned. I'm going to go in the other room and do my part, and I'm going to let Nick Fanning wrap this up. Thanks for your support.
Yeah. So all we're doing is just simply World Thrift Live. I'm Nick Fanning. That was Alessandro Cacosa. We make up World Thrift. And the idea is just to bring the thrifting and vintage culture together. Thanks again for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.